All right, so it is getting to the end of October, and I thought I'd do a little video about how we treat the bees with oxalic acid. And this is considered a bio-organic way of treating your bees. And what we're treating them for is varroa mites. And the varroa mite is probably the number one thing that kills your bees' nests right now, and I'm actually convinced that varroa mite has more of an impact than insecticides on the bees. Bees have a very good ability to bounce back as long as you're not sticking them right in a field full of pesticides. But the varroa mite is it's a bug that spreads disease within the colony and leads to colony collapse. So here you go. I do a little bit on how to make I do a dribble method. There's another method that's better for people with many hives. I only have 2 hives, so maybe as we grow, we will switch to I call it vaporization, but it's not really vaporization. It's they cook the oxalic acid and it turns into a gas. So, in any case, I hope you enjoy this. And there's a little bit at the end there where I just talk about what's going on. Have a good day.
There's one thing about these bee boxes is so like this, the bottom one has like a lip that you're not going to hurt them with, and the top, this feeder is just all poly, so I'm afraid to ruin it. It's not as tough as like wood, so I think that actually the frames are propolized to it. Oof, yeah, it is. You can feel it. And there we go. Yeah, the frames are propolized. You can't twist or nothing. You don't want to kill your queen doing this stuff. They're coming out like gangbusters now, of course. They say it's easier, but sometimes these components, they fit together a little bit too well. Shit. I'm gonna be crawling in my clothes, of course, and stinging me. There we go. That's good. Fuck. I'm not happy. It's the time of year, but this has got to be done. So. Just do it quick. Fuck, I'm getting stung big time. Yeah. Baby. Okay. Good. Let's cover this shit up before I become like a pincushion. See, this is what I'm talking about. This. Can you hear them? Can you hear them? They're like angry. Okay. I'll let that go and move on to the next one. There you go, me putting in oxalic acid. It's necessary. I think right now, I look in there the other day and there's like, it's like honey. There's not much, there's zero brood in there. We're kind of getting towards the end of October around here, and yeah, that's good. The dribble method is good for small operations, I guess. Maybe one day if I have more hives, which is the plan. We want to get, it wants to be the base for when we get out on the farm so that we can get loans and whatnot. But as I was writing about in the blog, these poly hives, they have like this kind of lip, and then they have, I think this is an after sale. They put this on here, and this is just a little bit wider than the lip, so when you put the top on, you can see me struggling there. I can't get the top on, and it leaves like a space for bees to get in and out. This time was especially hard. Like usually I can get it on, but the bees were being angry. There's nothing to eat, so I guess they have every right to be. So I'm gonna have to take this and trim it. It just makes it, you have to have something like this so they don't propolize the top to the bottom, because the top doesn't have the same sort of durability, because there isn't a hard plastic place to put your hive tool. So this just prevents that, and it comes off very easy. There's a few things about it that I'm gonna have to look into also, because the top has a groove up and it looks like it would shed humidity down the sides of the actual hive, which it might be an issue in the wintertime, like it's flat. So all humidity is gonna just like sit right on that surface, that flat surface, and drip straight down. Whereas where there's like kind of like a cathedral ceiling on the top of the poly top, the humidity is gonna come down like this. So things to be seen. As you can see, like I just don't like getting stung. I think I got stung like 10 times. So, and I thought that this was gonna be fine, this jacket I've got on, but this must be paper thin right here, because I've got them all over my biceps. I'm gonna be all picked when I get home, but I'm kind of used to it. I just don't like being stung, so I wear the gloves and all that type of stuff. And when I'm not being stung and I'm working the hive, I'm more calm, and I can get the job done, and the little gals can go and get angry with me. But yeah, this time of year is no good. Anyway, more to come. I didn't do a mite count. I just do it. I just do it right now. I'm not there right now where I'm doing like detailed mite counts. Next year I want to do that, because I think it's important to know what's working and what's not. But for right now, I did two treatments this year. One with Mite Away quick strips, which is formic acid, and that was harsh. It really hurt the hive, but they bounced back. And now it's Oxalic Acid, which is good when there's snow brood. So they're both considered, I think, BO, which is organic. Although my honey won't be organic, because there's farms like couple kilometers away. It's still within my bee range, although they're not eating that stuff. There's so much during the season. There's so much wildflower here, and the person who owns this land, she puts in buckwheat as to put nutrients back into her soil. So we get lots of buckwheat honey. Anyway, and it's all bio, organic. Okay? Anyway, hopefully watching me struggle there was helpful. Bye-bye.
So I just got back in from taking the bottom boards out from the hives, and there was quite a bit of mite drop. Not a ton, not as much as I've seen. But it obviously knocked back the mites, and it's good. It's good. That means they're going into winter without that burden. The winter, any brood that the queen lays late winter won't have to deal with mites. So hopefully, anyway, there'll always be a little bit. That's why you have to always treat. So I'm happy. It went down below 0 last night. I'm a little bit nervous about some of the syrup that I have on top, but there's only a little bit. I'll come back in a week and take those off. I cut down the plastic inner covers last night in a fit of frustration, and hopefully things will go well. I want 2 surviving hives. That's all I care about. 2 surviving hives. I guess I could accept 1 and I could make a good split. Got lots of honey here in the pasture. If you had seen on the video, there was a big stack behind. That was, those were full of frames that I've put some treatment in to keep away the wax moths until the freeze. And around here the freeze is pretty freezy, so that will preserve those until the spring, and then I will put in those frames in the spring, and everything will be good, hopefully. And that's that.